year we've done a photo shoot for the Telegraph on decorating your house. So we thought we'd show you behind the scenes how we actually did it. Now I'm doing it with Unity, my daughter, who's also a landscape architect, who's normally at the other side of the camera, but this time she's come round to the front and she's showed me a few tips and tricks that she knows. So we've decided to go for calamundins this year. As you can see, lovely citrus fruit, and they are one of my favourite citrus. Unity gave me one about 10 years ago, a tree that she got from the bargain basement of a garden centre, and it had no leaves on it at all.
But it did look good. It was like a tree and it had loads of orange balls on. I think it was after Christmas. But it was about that big.
But it should have had leaves on. But you'll see that in a minute because it came back to life very quickly. And what I didn't realise...
Well, it's not that one downstairs, is it?
It is. And what I didn't realise is that actually you can eat the calamundins. They always say they're best used for marmalade, but actually if you eat these little fruits, they are actually delicious. So, and they are a burst of vitamin C. A little bit sour, would you say?
Yeah, so I first ate them when we did the Sophie Conran podcast because she had loads of them in her greenhouse. And they were really good, but they were sour.
And so what I also like about them is, although Amanda at the Citrus Centre says they need about 3 degrees in the winter, but then I looked online and I think it's Texas University reckon it's -6 they go down to. From my experience, Unity's one that she gave me has tolerated below freezing and still looks healthy. So I think they're a really healthy plant, quite easy to grow.
But I was going to say, but if I wanted one, because I was thinking of getting one, could I keep it in the house?
You could, but they like a bit of light. The problem with a house is it's very dry.
Yeah.
You know, the humidity of a room with central heating is usually about 20 or 30%. Whereas outside, or what they prefer,
it's a lot higher,
is more like 70, 80%. So
maybe 90,
maybe 90 in some places. So, and the other thing is they're in fruit and flower most of the year round. So that's a big plus, especially at Christmas. And I love the citrus flavour. So I got the 4 canes. I painted with some gold paint, quick job. And then I got ivy. I've got this small leaf ivy and on the tree. And I cut it off and I've just plaited it in 3s. And I've done swags. And then I've strung my calamundins down below. Actually, these are tangerines that I got from the supermarket. Calamundins are a little bit smaller, as you'll see.
No, Sophie Conrad had some that big.
It does depend, one or two of
her
mine
bush was a lot bigger.
Yeah, but that's a big size for a calamundin, I think. And then I just put wire through them, florist wire, which I love, shoved it up through them, and then tied it round and then hung them from a ribbon. And that creates a lovely little canopy. And then we've put some down the table. And then also we've got these table napkins, which I really like.
They're from Katie Cardew.
And so she does lovely stripy table napkins in all different colours. So really, that's the kitchen. It's just very simple, orange theme. And these will be fine inside for some time like this. They're not getting a lot of light. And so if they start to defoliate, I'll probably swap them around with the ones on the tree. Now, Unity's going to take us down to the crypt. I'm going to show you what we've done down there.
Okay, cool. This weekend, I'm really lucky. I've got a adopted granny who I make wreaths with. And we did it last year. It was great. And I mentioned to friends and family that I was going to go and do it again this year because it was great fun last year. Because you have like a different wreath. You can go buy them. And they're about, I don't know, £45, £50 at the moment for a really good wreath. Probably something like that, or you can make your own. Basically, it's an Oasis ring that you can buy. You soak the Oasis ring for a minute or so the Oasis sops it up, and then you stick in loads of foraged foliage that you've found from wherever. So the conifer comes from Mim's garden, the bay is from Mim's garden, there's eurygeron, there might be a bit of olive in there somewhere, there's gold balls that Bun's added onto it.
Cinnamon sticks, I see.
Yeah, so the cinnamon sticks we were able to buy in a packet.
Fir cones.
The orange slices that always make me laugh because I remember going to a drinks party and someone had made them as decoration and somebody was wandering along eating them. And yeah, so basically we stuck in the foliage at an angle so it covers more and it looks a lot more even, whereas I think if you stick it out like radians of the sun, I don't think it has the same look to it.
So basically, they will last, I reckon,
Yeah.
like that for a good 2 weeks. Would
No,
you
no,
say?
no, mine lasted. I mean, mine's hanging on my door at the moment.
That's outside. This is
Outside,
inside.
but my outdoor one lasted from, I think I took it down on the 6th of Jan last year and I did it on the first weekend.
If foliage does dry out at different rates, because we've used a lot of foliage that we haven't put in water, and I find things like box, which I've made the little tree from, last for 2, 3, 4 weeks.
But Mim says if it dries out, you just get like a spray mister bottle like you'd use for making your sourdough bread or whatever, or ironing, and then you just mist it, and that will help keep it thing. But are you going to keep it here, or are you going to stick it on your front door?
Oh, keep it here. I think it looks really nice there. So the other thing that we've done then for here is I've made this little box tree. Now I noticed that you had loads of trees you can buy that cost quite a lot of money. So what I've been doing is I've just been cutting limbs from trees, and then my own trees or bushes in the garden, shrubs, and I've just been pulling off the lower foliage, and then I stick them in a jam jar with wire or something to keep them in place, and then it looks like a tree. And I did one about 2 weeks ago just to experiment, and it's looking fine. I'll show it to you in a minute. So that forms, because you can then make them the exact size you want to fill a space, and that was a bit of an awkward space. And so we've hung apples and pears on it and red ribbons, which are nice. And that pot is one that we gold leaf for another video. So that has got real gold leaf onto a plastic pot. You can see it's not done. We didn't quite finish it for the video, and I've missed a bit there, I see. And then letters, I love letters. So
These letters are a bit of a joke. Bun's had them for several years, and they're a complete soul because they drop off and they break. And
so we've broken 2 letters out of
two
all
letters
of those.
today.
No, that was where it was broken before. Anyway, so I love letters. I got them from a photo shoot I did for the Daily Mail about 20 years ago. We all had to decorate a Christmas tree. And I like the rusty Noel ones. And then I love bringing things outside, inside. So I brought my stone lions in for winter. I got those in Morocco for about 20 quid, and I bought them out as hand luggage.
You have to mention how long ago you bought them.
It was probably about 40 years ago.
So they wouldn't be 20 quid now for the rest of us.
No, but they're lovely. I love them. And they came out under the arm on the aeroplane. And I was amazed they allowed me, actually. I don't think they would stay. So that's this little sitting area. Now we'll go and show you the dining area. So the centrepiece is this lovely wirework tree. Now I saw some wirework urns in Lulu Guinness's garden, which were brilliant. And she said they were made by Celestino Valenti. And he lived in the next village, so we popped over and saw him, and you'll see we got a couple of urns next door. But he makes this amazing wirework, and he's done the avenue in Bergdorf, Goodman's 5th Avenue store. He's done an amazing sleigh for that. He's done stuff for the Saatchi. He's really good. He's a lovely elderly man, and his workshop, if you ever get near Stroud, is full of amazing wirework things he's made. Unity's decorated this mainly. So I put the box around the bottom in a little oasis thing full of water.
Yeah.
And that makes just the plinth around the base of the tree.
And then where did you get these from? Because these are new.
Those I did. I borrowed those from, that one's still got its label on, from the worm that turned.
Oh, they're really good. They've got good furniture and stuff. I didn't
lovely.
know they did small bits as well.
So they've done the blue and the gold. These are my old apples, which I've had for hundreds of years. So carry on.
And then the ribbons on Instagram at the moment, there's a technique for tying ribbons, and it took me about 6 goes, but I have done loads. So I'm now an expert, and so I've attached. But instead of tying them onto the tree, I've done them with florist wire at the back and just wired them onto the tree so they look a bit more pert and they face forward, hopefully.
Except for the one I did, which isn't so pert. I must copy your technique.
But it's like you twist it around your fingers and stuff, and it works. It does work, but I'm not sure I'll use it for actual presents. And then you've got your pheasants. Where are they from?
So they're from the worm that turned again.
As well?
Yeah, so they sent those and the pears. And I think they're really nice. I feel like buying these and keeping them because I think I would use them all year round. Now, it's open for discussion. We might not. But they are lovely. I do like them. And then at the end of the table, I've done another of these little trees. You can see it's wibbly wobbly. I literally did this in about 3 minutes this morning.
So how do you keep it upright?
I've got a jam jar in there.
What, the
full
tiddly
of
widdly
water,
ones?
a small jam jar.
So
in there.
do you mean the old ones you got from the Bon Mama advent calendar a couple of years ago?
No. It's in there, and
Like
it's
a honey jar.
Yeah, and you can see, and it's just stuffed in the centre, full of
with
water.
oasis.
With oasis. Now you're not meant to use oasis because it's not very environmental friendly.
They say that, but they do sell lots of the wreaths and stuff like that, and you can make like a wicker work wreath. And
You
post
can
it
make
in.
a wicker work, which is what Shane Conley showed us that he did, didn't he? So
Yeah.
those are just so nice. I think you could do hundreds of those on your table, and they just look really nice, and they will last. I would think they still look pretty fresh in about a month at least.
And these
They're
orange
amazing.
slices also came from the garden centre. We use them for wreath making.
And we've made a load.
But you
We
can
have
make
made a
some,
load.
but
yeah, you can
majority
drive
of
them
them
in the
are.
oven for 45 minutes and slice them. And I use them from year to year. I've got ones, and I
Well,
just
you've
have
now
to
got
stop
a
people.
massive collection
eating
more to
them.
add to them.
And I think you made the crackers about 5 years ago.
No, they're not my crackers, because normally I would get the cracker kits you can get from Hobbycraft and stuff them. Because one of my friends, Alice, she talked about how they did it every Christmas, and then I remember doing it. I'm going to say a good decade and a half ago, and we've never had normal shop bought crackers since.
Because you can put nice things in them, not
So you can
rubbish.
probably get in like a Hobbycraft cracker that you stick together. You can probably fit a small pair of socks, gloves, lip balm, alcohol.
something useful. So that's that. So should we go and do the final bit, which was mainly you, wasn't it?
That was mainly me.
The swag. I did do.
But you did that swag, but I stuck the gold balls on.
Yeah. So the swag on the top. We'll show you how we do that because we did the swag next. So in the hall, we've got this weird fireplace, and there's bread ovens in there, and put a log burning stove in it. So here, Unity, you did the main swag. Explain how you did that.
So if you look back on the Bunny's YouTube videos, you'll see that we did a matching Christmas shoot about 2 or so years ago with Emily.
For the Telegraph.
For the Telegraph again. Always something obscure for the Telegraph. And we used on the fireplace in there a big thing of chicken wire, which we stuck full of things. So Bun thankfully had the plastic coated chicken wire left over. And all the plants within there are foraged from Bun's garden. Obviously, if you don't have loads of stuff in your garden, like I did at home, I've got olives, which I've used on my wreath at home.
But you can go and forage in the wild. Now, if you're trespassing, then obviously you do need to get permission from the owner.
Could you lift from a roadside hedge and stuff like that? Because we're lucky, so I live in Stamford, and Bun's obviously not far away. So could I go on between me and you, obviously not the A1, could I go and
you can
pick stuff from a hedgerow?
As long as you don't trespass. If you go down right of ways, and as long as you don't, if it's not a protected area, it's not anything like that, then it's fine. But they don't go and denude something. Just take a bit.
Because we did see when Mim and I were driving to Stamford, we did see somebody chopping down what looked like half a tree, but it looked like they were going to use it it wasn't like a lone branch for firewood, it was like a big thing. Is that kind of thing okay, or is that
I think that's a bit much, to be honest, because that's someone's tree.
Yeah, no, it was like in like a woodland or like a bit of a scrappy bit by the side of the road.
I think I would check.
Okay.
I don't know exactly, but so I mean at home it's really good to prune all the unis. So we've got you in there, we've got Box, and what else is it? It's mainly you and Box, isn't it? And
there's a bit
the chicken wire, the plastic coated chicken wire. Last year we just rolled it up into a long sausage.
Yeah,
and then we've
prod
literally
the
hung it on
foliage
the
into
nails.
it.
Yeah,
You prod the foliage into it, and then I've wired some of the stuff back in with florist wire, which was, I think it was like £2 for the roll, and I've used it in the wreaths, and we've used it in this.
And then the gold birds, which we did a couple of years ago.
We did in the previous shoot. They were pictured over the table with Brussels sprouts.
Yeah,
and
the
I
Brussels
remember.
sprout theme was fun, wasn't it? I think people thought it was a bit mad when we did that the other year.
But I think for the photo shoots for magazines and stuff, you have to do something different because everybody's seeing the same thing, and you have to do something a bit more out there because that's what they're paying for.
And I love Brussels sprouts. But anyway, you found those on the internet,
No, you
and
found
they
them
were
on
like a couple
Amazon,
of quid or
and
something.
I
you
remember
sprayed
spray
them
painting
gold.
them.
Yeah, maybe that was the way around. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. And these are my favourite. And again, it's outdoor, indoor, and these are Celestino Valenti, difficult one to say.
Yeah.
These are him again. He's made these lovely wirework urns. Now I didn't get the plinths for them, but I bought some old stone vases on eBay for like 20 quid, and he threw in those concrete plinths, and they've been in the garden and they've actually weathered quite nicely, and you're pushed to know that they aren't stone. Well, I am anyway. I think they look quite convincing, and they just
Yeah.
fitted the urns nicely.
Yeah.
They look wonderful outside. So when 12th night, come 12th night, they'll go either side of the door gate into my rose meadow.
Are you going to wait till 12th night this year? I was going to get
Yeah.
a Boxing Day present.
No, I like to keep it to 12th night, otherwise I think it's unlucky. And then they'll obviously derobe them, and I'll put them out there, and they look really nice naked. I almost think they look better naked than
I think
they
they
do
look
with
better
the stuff
naked
on
than
them.
with stuff on. They must have spent days
Making
doing them.
them.
I'll get photos because you can see all the wires like really wrapped round and stuff.
Yeah, so that's all we've done here, isn't it? And
Did
the
you
reason-
mention little gold balls as well?
Oh, these
Where did
little
you get
gold
them
balls,
from? Are they
I
eBay?
got those, I'm afraid, from Amazon, and they
Okay.
were like 100 for £3 or something.
But they're really good, and they're on like a bendy bit because I've used them in the wreath up there, not the wreath, the garland to bump it up.
And
They're
they're all
not-
different sizes. They were just foam balls, I think.
Yeah.
Gold foam balls. And then I'll put the oranges, which you make just by cutting lines in them, drying them in the oven with a little gold ball on the top.
Yeah.
So that's my favourite thing, the sort of thing that you don't have to buy much, and you can just bring it inside from outside, or you can take it back outside afterwards. And we started this morning in earnest about between 7 and 8.
But we
And
did
we've
quite a
done-
lot last night as well. We did.
Well, I had
yesterday
got the
afternoon, last night.
canes up because I'd painted the canes. But basically...
But we did that I did that
Oh,
yesterday.
yes, you did
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yes, you did the swag, but we put
But
the lights
and then I
in
put
this
the
morning.
lights in this morning, but the lights again, I sound like I live in Hobbycraft, but they're from there. I was going to put them on my wreath outside and set against it.
So so basically we've been at it for about 4 hours for the 4 areas. So I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, and I think if you're a one-man band, you could probably do the whole lot in a day because you have the vision and you go. Whereas for us, it's like backwards, forwards. What do you think of that? Well, I don't know. I hope you've really enjoyed the video and watching it and having a laugh on the way through. And I hope you realise that from what we've done, that you don't have to go out and buy the latest tree or the latest this or the latest that to decorate a house. You can get a bit of old chickenware and stick a couple of bits of forest leaves in it, and it looks really good. Because I think at the moment there's a lot of pressure to spend a lot of money at Christmas, and it doesn't have to be that way. You can achieve really good for not very much.
Yeah. So have a happy Christmas.
Hope you have a great Christmas.